Going from a Disney Channel sweetheart to a young woman.
So you're saying Miley Cyrus had trouble transitioning, but Miley Cyrus, she's kind of transitioned back now. Like she was kind of way out there, but now she's like boomeranged back to like where we would consider mostly normal.
Yeah. Mostly normal. That's a great word. But yeah, no, she's definitely transitioning back because I feel honestly she had to go and be that extreme to get everyone's attention. Like, hey, wipe this Hannah Montana persona out of your memory. Get that out of your system. Let me chop my hair off. She had to be dramatic. She had to because people were not shedding that image.
I love you being the voice in Miley Cyrus's head, by the way. I love it. Hey! Snap out of it, okay? Because we doing business here.
Right.
I love it.
Exactly.
This is America.
That's how I'm assuming it went in her head, But no, like they really weren't shaking that image of her. They're like, oh, she's a good girl, she's this, she's that. So she had to go completely bad girl with it to be like, look, everybody, that's not who I am anymore. So now that she got that out of her system, this is the next phase. Oh, now I can be a normal young woman in the music industry.
Right. Now, being a young woman yourself, it's hard, right? You've got some people over here, you got to be a certain kind of sexy, and then over here you can be too much.
Yeah.
Or if you're being too much and you're not being open enough, then you're some kind of lesbian artist and any of this. So you have all these like things you have to fight with that don't have anything to do with your talent, by the way.
Right.
Right? So before you even get through the door, you've got to deal with, is she even cute enough to be coming through this door? Right?
Yes.
Because poor Meghan Trainor is... I don't care what anybody says. That is an extreme example of how it doesn't usually work. And Adele, too. Like, girls who are overweight usually don't get in the game. Yeah. I'm sorry. That's just not the way it happens. Yeah. It's just not that way. Yeah. But they did. God bless them. But that's definitely not the norm.
Right.
Right? So you're in the music business. How long have you been in the music business?
Oh, my entire life, really. I know a lot of people say that, but literally my entire life. Like, my dad was an artist before me, so I'm talking.
She came out of the womb. She's like, you shake my nose and you run on my brain.
Yes, that was me. That was me. But no, I'm talking like, studio sessions, little girl running around, like, that type of situation.
So you're a veteran performer and, I'm not going to ask your age because I'm a gentleman, but I'm going to say you're in your 20s.
I'm 19. I'll be 20 in a few weeks. Yeah.
Almost. That was close.
Close.
So you are already a veteran, though. With of those 20 years, would you say 12 of them are real, true, honest performances? Or
I would say 12 of those years were growing pains and deciding if I wanted to do it or not. Mm-hmm. But being consistent and really trying to build myself, it's been 4 years.
And you're also, now you're a shorty in the hip-hop business, too. Not just the music. Because there's the music business, which is hard. Mm-hmm. Then there's the hip-hop business, which is damn near, you might as well be an X-Man or some kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is extremely hard, the hip-hop business. So you run into these producers that give you a hard time or try to make life harder for you or make life easier for them, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, the hard part is with producers is trying to find my sound. Like, they don't know, and this goes for everyone in the music industry, they really don't know where to put me or what exactly to do with me. Like, everyone's, for some reason, they always have to pigeonhole people and be like, you're this, you're that. Like, they have to, like, oh, you're hip-hop, you're pop, you're this. Mm-hmm. It's like, but when you're someone that's doing all of it, like, you want to do pop records, you want to do hip-hop records, somehow you want to, bring the two together and mix up everything, they don't know what to call that, so they freak out. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, what do we do with this girl? What are we supposed to do? Oh my goodness. And it's like panic mode, so.
Now, wouldn't people do that anyway with you? Because you are definitely an exotic look. My children look like you. Their mom is white and I'm black.
Okay.
I'm a black guy. And so their mom is white. And so my kids are Jewish, basically. But you are mixed ethnicity.
Yes,
right?
I am. Yes.
So you don't have to tell us what mix. It doesn't seem like you're trying to tell us. But
no,
you
I'm
are
black
some
and
kind
white
of,
as well.
Okay, so you're black and white. You're white, like a lot of people in America. But then people look at you and they have an expectation of what you're supposed to sound like and what you're supposed to be like and what you're supposed to, how you're supposed to get down.
Yes.
How black are you? Are you black enough to represent black people?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Are you too non-black to represent, you know what I'm saying? So do you have that issue going through your career?
Yes, you are speaking my whole
That's
life
it.
right now.
That's the gospel,
like,
yeah.
I mean, even, it goes back to my school days. You know, I've been graduated for a couple years now from high school. It goes back to my school days. I was too black for my white friends, and I was too white for my black friends.
Right.
So it's like, which one is it? And it's the same thing in the music business. I've even gotten Hispanic before.
Sure.
And, like, I've even had some people to where it's like, they think that I'm going to come out singing this beautiful ballad melody, and I come out rapping.
Right.
And they're like, whoa.
Right.
You're supposed to be singing, like, what are you doing? And then I slow it down and I sing a song or two, and then they're like, wait, so she does sing? Like, it goes back to that whole thing. What is she? What is she doing? You know, what kind of genre is that?
The American entertainment scene, I get frustrated by this a lot. The American entertainment business is so lacking diversity. Now, and I don't want to get on like this whole soapbox about the Oscars and but I mean, it's true. It's like, dude, are you serious? You only have one black person in this movie that's set in New York City, in Harlem, and you got one black sidekick. And he's going to be dead in 15 minutes. I mean, that's the way it's going to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of these movies, there are no roles for black actresses. There's no roles for for black male actors. Then, on top of that, as if that wasn't enough, you get into the music business where, God bless Justin Timberlake, but it's like, listen, dude, there's people who were born sounding like that, and they can't get on. Yeah. They can't get a break. They can't get a record release no matter what. Right. But then here's Justin Timberlake doing urban pop. And it's like, how urban is Justin Timberlake? I think he grew up in Bradenton, Florida or something. How urban is that? Yeah. But, you know what I'm saying? Jacksonville, Mississippi style urban. Yeah. But it's really hard and getting harder because of the lack of diversity, the lack of opportunities for... Now, what's interesting is the European music business is so diverse. It's almost too diverse. There, you find, oh, here's this bloke, and he's from North Africa, and he's going to sing, you know, and he sounds like Sam, what's his name?
Smith.
Sam Smith, the great singer Sam Smith. So... what do you see from your generation? What do you see is going to be the solution for the lack of diversity in American entertainment business?
Honestly, I feel like it's going to take that one person to break down those walls. The one that's going to, you know, leave the floodgates open, you know, and then once it's open, everyone can just start running through, you know.
It would have to be. Like when Michael Jackson appeared, all of a sudden... everything was okay for black guys. You know, I mean, this is probably hard for you to imagine because you're 20 something, you know. Imagine, and I know it's going to be hard. What I'm going to say is going to sound so foreign to you. Imagine there were no black actors except Eddie Murphy. There were no black singers that were played on the radio. On the regular pop radio, you never heard Stevie Wonder. You never heard Marvin Gaye. You never heard Michael Jackson. You never heard Prince. Until all of a sudden, this guy came along moonwalking. And it was like, now there's black music everywhere. But there never was. Whitney Houston couldn't even get played on the radio because she wasn't white enough. You know? And I don't want to go into a whole ethnic thing or racial thing, but it's just so sad because we miss out on so much good stuff. Wouldn't you agree? But just not being diverse. Like some of that country music is okay. Like when I listen to it, I'm like, damn, that's pretty clever lyric right there. How you came up with that.
Most definitely.
But I'll never hear it as long as we stay segregated culturally.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, I agree with that.
It's just really hardcore. Okay, so back to you. Enough about the world. Now, you is what's mattering the most. Okay, so Hope, you write your own music?
Yes, I write. I also have writers that I work with. I co-write. So it really depends on what type of project I'm working on. You know, I'll do a mixture of both.
So when you sit down to write something, like, do you have a certain filter that you say, let's say you saw something on the news, do you say, I'm moved by that, but that doesn't belong in Hope's musical, repertoire. Like, I don't want to write music about that. People don't need me to sing about that. Let's just keep that where it is.
Yeah.
Or are you an open book where you're like, hey, whatever I think, it becomes a song?
Right. No, it's definitely the first one. I definitely am aware of what's going on around me. I know I'm aware of our issues in the world, but I definitely do say this isn't hoax music yet.
Oh, interesting.
I say yet because I want to get to a certain point. It's not like I'm never going to talk about it. I already made it up in my mind. I'm going to talk about it at some point. Okay. I just don't think I'm in the point in my career right now to where I feel established enough or even comfortable enough to come out and speak my views and give my perspective, you know. But I feel like when I build myself up to that point, there will be more people willing to listen to me and hear what I have to say. I want to reach bigger audiences, not to say that smaller audiences aren't important, because they are, but I got to get these smaller audiences to listen to me first. And once I have their interest and I've grabbed their attention, then they'll be willing to be like, okay, what is she really talking about lyrically now? Like, she has nice music, you know, I can vibe to it, I'm into her now. Now what is she saying to me? And that's when I can go and dive in deeper with the lyrics and dig in and kind of give my perspective. So I'm waiting on that. It's still in the plan, but I'm waiting on it.
But it's about happening. Now, do you ever write something that you say, this is too personal? This is just too personal. It's just too much about my own personal experience to share with the world?
Not so much. I definitely don't want to let people know too much, but at the same time, I still want to help people because I know there's others going through the same exact things, and maybe they feel bad about it, and when they hear someone else is going through it, they're like, oh, so I'm not alone, I'm not by myself. And I know a lot of artists say that, but it's the truth. Like, you never know what someone else is going through until you hear it, and you're like, oh wow, I really am not alone, you know? So
and people do need the music. The music is sometimes, you know, sometimes all a person has is their crummy job, and they hear that song, you know, I'm happy, I feel like, and they go, you know what, that's all I need to get me through the day. And so they need music, you know, surely. What about other careers? Have you thought about, okay, I might do music for 5 or 6 years, and then I might go into politics, or I might go ahead and open up that veterinarian school that I've been thinking about all my life. Like, is music it for you, or are you thinking about other things down the road?
Music is definitely not it. It never was going to be the only thing. I've always had plans. Like, you know, a lot of people ask me about college as well, and this is the first time I'm kind of really opening up about it, but I do have plans to get my business degree and have my own businesses. I want to open up my own, you know, businesses. I want to be involved in makeup. I'm a huge makeup fanatic. I love makeup. So I was planning on doing that. I also want to get into the fashion world. Fashion is really big for me, and people don't really know that. So, I mean, I want to get into so much. Like, music is just the outlet. It's my passion. It's whatever door is going to open for me. I also want to act. I mean, acting would be a great, you know, thing added onto my list,
for you,
right?
I'm sure, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm going to say 3 words, and you can kind of give me your thoughts on it. You maybe want to think about it, because it's going to sound simple at first, but if you really go deep, it's pretty deep.
Right.
If I were to say to you, Black Lives Matter.
They do. That's the first thing that comes to my mind, is they absolutely do. That's really, I don't really elaborate too much on stuff like that, but they do matter. I believe every person's life matters. I feel, you know, human rights are important. Civil rights, I mean, all rights.
Yeah.
It's really, it's
and sometimes a few lefts if that's what it takes.
Right. I mean, it's very touchy, and I know a lot of people are in an uproar right now. So, I mean, we got to come together. We need to peacefully protest. That's a huge one. We need to not react in violence. That's how I feel about it.
Sure.
Violence, really, a lot of people think it gets us somewhere, but it really does not. We need to fight with our knowledge and our brains, and not with our fists and our weapons.
Sure.
And that's where I stand on it.
Now, real quickly, we're going through a time when we may have the first female president, which as a black man, when we had Barack Obama became president, even though I didn't think it would affect me, I didn't really care one way or another, to be honest.
Right.
It did affect me. When he won, it really did affect me. I felt like somehow he won, so I won, right? And it made me feel different. So now we're losing Michelle Obama. Are you going to miss Michelle Obama?
To be honest, I'm really not into that much into politics.
Sure.
So I really don't have an answer for you. I wish I did, but I really don't.
Well, I ask you kind of because you're not into the politics, like,
right.
Who would you miss more if they were gone tomorrow? Nicki Minaj or Michelle Obama?
Probably Nicki Minaj, to be honest with you. I know that sounds horrible, but
no, it doesn't. It sounds like your opinion.
Right.
I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. So then, my question as I think I'm a journalist, is why? What is it about Nicki Minaj that you would even miss? Like
her music. I mean, the contributions that she makes to the music industry, as far as her empire that she's built for herself, her whole pink empire. She built an empire off of pink, you know? I mean, but one thing I will say about Michelle Obama is she was there for Barack and, you know, his time in need. It's really hard to see a woman stick by such a successful man like that. And, you know, he is our president of the United States. And for her to come out, there's this one quote that was by her, and she was saying, it was something about this woman was like, oh, what do you see in him, or whatever, and, or no, it was, what do you see in Michelle Obama? They're trying to say she's not very attractive. And she said something about, you know, I'm married to the president of the United States of America. It was my brain, not my looks.
Interesting.
And that right there, that did strike with me very deep. Because it's not about your looks. It's about your brains. That's someone with knowledge and intelligence got her, you know, married to the president of the United States. So that's something that all women should be aware of and they should think about.
Now, Hope, you are a good-looking girl. You're over 18, I can tell you. You're a good-looking girl.
Thank you.
Sexy, too.
Thank you.
Are you... People who look good always say looks don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Those are the first things. Good-looking people always say, oh, man, looks don't matter. I just happen to be fine as hell. That's all right here.
It's true. No, I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But don't you think that your looks kind of helped you get somewhere where you are now? I mean, your looks opened some doors for you.
I mean, definitely. To be honest with you, it sounds terrible, but your looks definitely do get you in the door, especially in this industry. Because this industry, it's a very hard industry. I want to call it terrible, but no, I'm not going to go there. But it's a very, they get on you about your looks a lot. Like,
right.
For a world where you're trying to tell everyone, like, you're beautiful, this industry rips all that away and is like, no, you need to have this look, you need to, I mean, the industry is tough.
I'm laughing because you're right. I mean, I totally agree with you, but I'm laughing because it's like, yep, there's no truer thing.
So you have to look good so you can tell all these girls that they're beautiful. That's what the industry tells you. Oh, you gotta have the look, you gotta be beautiful, just so you can come back around and tell all these girls that, you know, have low self-esteem, tell them that they're beautiful. What kind of sense does that make?
Right.
It's honestly terrible.
Right.
But, you know, I feel like the reason that good-looking people say that, you know, looks don't matter is because, to be honest, I think the majority of those people really do not think they're that attractive. I know myself, I do not think I'm that attractive. I really don't. And I know a lot of people say, oh, you're crazy. Like, to any attractive person that says that, they're like, oh, you're crazy. You're so beautiful. What are you talking about? You're a supermodel. Supermodels say that all the time. It's because they're not feeling good about themselves. They're insecure. They constantly have people down their throats saying, you need to lose weight. You need to put makeup on. You need to go get this $1,000 facial. I saw Kim Kardashian puts blood on her face, her own blood, and puts it on her face to have clear skin. It's like, are you a vampire? What is going on?
Like,
Like, you have to do crazy stuff like that. Your appearance is everything.
Right.
And it's like, so really, all that stuff makes you insecure, and it makes you feel like you're not attractive. So yes, the people may be attractive, but they're being made felt like you're ugly.
And not to mention the people who are making money to draw her blood for her to put on her face, which is really what the hustle is at the end of the day.
Right.
It's like, you know, you don't need me to take those old diapers and turn them into car wash mitts for you. Right. So go ahead and get the diapers, and I charge $75 an hour to help you out. By the way, try the waters. Today there's no charge for the water. Okay? Yes, have as much water as you want. Yes. The sisters have been working on it all day long in the kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a hustle for pretty people because, of course, you're going to have self-conscious issues if you're going to be on the cover of magazines. So along come these people who will do you the favor of plastic surgery. Mm-hmm. They'll do you the favor of come to this spa and get the treatments and blah, 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 blah. As a young lady, do you ever see the girls who are getting real sexy in the videos, and there's so many now that you can't even point a finger at one because there's so many sexy girls in videos.
Yes.
Do you ever think like, damn, girl, you know, you don't have to get naked. Like, you're making us all look like we got to get naked.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
It's funny you bring that up because I've literally been struggling with it recently. It really gets under my skin when I see a female come on stage and, you know, twerk and feels like she has to do all this because that's what guys want. And at the end of the day, it is what the majority of guys want to see. When they see a female rapper or singer get on stage, they want to see them, you know, do something sexual. And it's like, and it does hurt the other females that are out here trying to do it the other way and do it the way where they don't have to put themselves in a provocative situation. It does really hurt those ones out there that want to do it the other route.
Now, I watched a video of you, and you were in a pair of shorts, and you were in the bucket of water. But it was cute. It was done very cute. It was very tasteful.
Right.
I never once, and I would tell you, I don't know you. I'll tell you. I'll tell you what I think, damn it. But it was nothing about it made me say, oh, look at this girl.
Right.
But when I watch some of the effects of Miley Cyrus during her Wrecking Ball stage, I actually am embarrassed. Like, I wouldn't want to watch it with my 12-year-old son.
Yeah.
I would want to turn the channel because I understand there is a deep romantic story there about the whole symbolism of, you know, she came in like a wrecking ball.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. But it's too much nudity. It's too much nakedness. It's too much sensuality for my 12-year-old.
Right.
You know?